Good day, everybody. Welcome back. We're here at episode 2. I'm hoping everybody got enough rest. What we're going to do today is take a look at clarity. We're gonna actually clarify what happened in my first episode and what I was actually talking about, because I got some questions. People were kind of excited about what they were seeing, but they didn't have enough information to kind of put things together. So after this episode, I invite you to go right back to episode 1 and kind of put some of the things together about what this whole schematic is about. What initiated that first episode was concerns by my children about all of the problems that are running rampant in the world today. And one of my questions that I posed to them was, okay, since there's so many problems, are there solutions for every problem? And so we came to the board and we kind of worked it out, and that's what you saw in episode 1. And so we even talked about how language is a part of this whole problematic thing, where we're unable to really solve all of our problems because we're kind of focused narrowly into a specific language that doesn't expound on itself. Okay, so we're going to move forward, and how we're going to add clarity to episode 1 is, in episode 2, we're going to show how cosmic consciousness involves itself in the physicality. Okay, so we're going to see how in the creation process, from a cosmic or a macro level, we can see how things come into the micro level. And then from that micro level, we're going to go right back up into, or merge the consciousness or the psyche of man back into the perfect black. Okay, so we're going to take it from the top, and we're going to see how the process of involution occurs. Okay, so we want to look at some of the directional types of things that's going on when we are dealing with cosmic consciousness. So we're dealing with the unmovable. Okay, we're dealing with the unmovable stillness of cosmic consciousness. When it reverberates, it becomes unity. Once it crosses into physicality, it is unity or omniscience. And this omniscience doesn't do one thing at a time necessarily. It divides simultaneously into its polarities. Okay, so we have feminine and masculine columns or pillars, in which your next units of power, they become condensed and they precipitate into more orderly structures and forms as we walk down the tree of life. Okay, or as consciousness moves its way into physicality. So the key that we have to always consider is that in order for consciousness to come into physicality, it uses a middle or central pillar to organize everything such that it can meet its goal here on the planet Earth. And that's what we see with the equidistant cross here. This is being used in almost everything that has to do with time, that has to do with seasons, that has to do with the elements, has to do with personalities when we look at the zodiac, and so forth. And so on its way down, we're going to take a look at what happens. Okay, from the unity omniscience part, we have division. And in our English language, we see in division, we see divine, or we can cognitively see the relationship between divine and division. And these divisions come down in the form of wisdom and power. Okay? And this wisdom and power further condenses into universal law and order and force. Now when these two are getting to this point, this is where they start to come into play, into the central pillar, because consciousness is actually trying to merge these two forces, and guess what it creates? It creates our sun. This is the solar essence, okay? And this sun actually projects all of physicality from all of the elements ranging on the periodic table. All of the elements are formed. We have all of the visible light spectrum that's coming out. We have all the frequencies, all the way down to the audible sounds. These are the precipitations of the sun, and this is how we get solid forms. We get liquid forms, and this is how when you get your hydrogen and your oxygen, the positive and negative forces coming together, creating the bonds, we get water. And this would be your second union, which is a part of the first emanation of the sun. That sun does exactly what this does. When it emanates, it has to bring those forces together as it descends down the central column. So in the bringing together of these two, we're at the next phase, or the womb, where physicality is being brought forth, and it finally comes here and condenses, solidifies into terra firma, and even the water comes with it. Okay, and so what we're looking at here is the physical earth, you know, and this physical earth, with all of its elements and so forth, all of its minerals and compounds, they go into the making of the physicality of human beings. And so we see the full movement of consciousness through its projected structure or blueprint into physicality, all the way down, precipitating all the way down here to the terra firma. Okay? So as above, when we have the stillness that's unmovable, we have so below the stillness, but it's in the form of solid activity. Okay? So it apparently is still here, but there's a lot of activity going on even within the rocks. We know water is pretty active as well. It has a lot of motion and movement. One thing I want to demonstrate is that we have all of the knowledge that we need here on this schematic called the Paut Neteru, and it shows